Okay, we're live in 5, 4, 3.
Hello folks, and welcome to the HQ of Formula One's newest team.
Hello everyone. Yeah, F1's newest team, that's right. Philmc GP is going to make things even more crazy in this 2020 season. We're going to enter the grid using the My Team mode in Codemaster's newest game. We're just going to quickly go fast forward here through as we pick our sponsors. I'm going to choose TriStar for our main. I think we can get 2 points finishes this season. I think that's possible. For our engine, I hate getting past on the straights because I can defend in the corners, but in the straights, no. So we go with Mercedes. And as for teammate, oh, you know it. We're going for Mahaveer Raghunathan, the Indian god of driving. From F2, he performed so well there. He is the perfect driver for Philmc GP. Now we're just going to take a bit too long to choose the colors here. And if you want a super serious career mode, I'd check out like Team at Marduk. But if you want to watch an average person play this game as best as he can, you're in the right place, because myself and Lord Mahaveer are ready to run this. We're going to normal schedule. As for assists, I play with anti-lock brakes, medium traction control. I have manual gears. Vehicle damage reduced just because I hate all this stupid rewinding that I have to do with fast flashbacks, because I keep knocking off a little bit of wing. We're going to start the season at 70 overall AI. I can tell you that will go up or maybe even down. That will go for practice sessions. I take that all the way down just because it's like I'd rather be challenged during the race than during the practice sessions. Either way, here we go. Our first F1 TV interview.
You've already made
These choices will all come back to how our team
the
works.
mammoth task of both managing and driving for a Formula One team.
I mean, it's been a lot of work. You just saw the montage of me putting everything together. It was difficult to even get the colors right.
Every team needs 2 drivers, but what was it that drew you to your teammates?
Look, we're looking at a clip of Mahaveer's excellence here. You know, the most dangerous man in F2. Their skill set really suited our team.
No one aims to finish bottom of the table. Who's the team?
No one aims to finish bottom of the table. We just aim to finish. So we're just going to see if we can pick off a couple races from Williams.
How are you expecting the car to feel out on
Now,
track?
these responses actually guide our development and how we start off. Being that we've got the best power unit, or second best power unit, we're not too worried about the engine side of things. But I do want to work on aero, and I do want to work on durability. So we're going to focus our 4 answers. We're going to split them 2 and 2, see what we can get out of that. Because, yeah, these answers will come back to help us.
Of each opportunity that comes your way. And finally, which of your new departments...
I'm just proud that we managed to get a team off the ground, I'll be honest. But yeah, durability department. We're proud of you guys.
Well,
with that will wrap up our first interview with F1 TV here.
In its first Grand Prix.
Yeah, our first Grand Prix, all right. That's going to be
an
interesting experience later in this episode. So here's just like our headquarters screen. So in like 2019, all your points could be spent in this screen, and you could upgrade efficiency. And that's what I would always do. I'd start off the season with 0 development because I would just upgrade efficiency right from the very beginning. Turns out, like in this game, you have to upgrade efficiency and quality control from this screen, from your department screens, and that costs 2 million. We're not going to wait with our points. We're going to start investing now and see what development we can get. Again, I'm not going to be perfect in my development. I mean, look at I'm upgrading my engine. My engine should be fine. For scheduling, we're going to, start with focusing on durability. We're going to have 2 wasted days, but that was inevitable. And then we're going to also send Mahaveer to a training camp. Since we signed TriStar, we only have 1 sponsor right now, but I wanted to go and I wanted to thank them for their support to get us off the ground. Now I'm going to go into my characters. I really wanted to fix how it looks on the chest. It looks really stupid on the chest, but you can't do that. It's just slapped on there. Maybe that'll be something that we can do in later updates. But now I'm just sort of flicking through the screens, having a look at things. And we're now going to advance to the car reveal. The nice little part where everyone gets super excited while F1 drivers remove a tarp off of a car. We got 1,000 resource points out of that development camp. So we're going to take the points and we're going to spend them in other departments. Actually, did we spend them both in durability? Well, we spent 1 in durability because I am horrifically bad on my parts. I am a pretty bad driver, especially on the gearbox. I'm aggressive on it. We go to the car reveal. Introducing Philmc GP for its first race down in Australia.
Morning, boss. Jeff here. Thanks again for bringing me on board. You've found a lot of talented people for this team.
Yeah, you're not one of those talented people.
Our journey to the Constructors' Championship starts here today, and the car is ready to head out whenever you are.
Here we go. The Philmc GP 01 heads out for its first competitive laps here in the sunny skies of Melbourne. Coming out of turn 16 here, we're just going to start off on some mediums. Not really expecting to get out of Q1 on these tires. More just getting a couple laps in on this session, getting a feel for the track this session. We're definitely not making it out with a turn 1 like that. We have an absolutely awful exit of the corner as we pile off towards Whiteford. Towards the finish of the lap, it's an okay lap. Wasn't great. Still, again, we're not going to make it out on these tires. Not with a turn 16 like that. Been having problems with it all weekend, all throughout practice. See these problems have continued into qualifying. It's so bad of a turn that Ricardo actually caught up to us, pulled up alongside us, and we have just an abysmal time. As you can see, when we go and look at these standings, we're sitting bottom of the table. We're a whole second off of our teammate here, 127.7, and we're going to need to improve on that. Hopefully, we can find some pace on the softs. Now here we go, jumping out to our next quali lap. We got 5 minutes left in the session. A little bit of a fast forward through back part of the course to the 11-12 S-bend, which is not a strong part for us. Running on the softs this time, we're a whole second, 1.7, 1.8 beneath our other time. We're going to jump up to 18th in the standings, tucked in between Gasly and Grosjean. That's going to be good. Now at this point, I didn't realize that I just needed 16th place to make it to the next round. I thought that I needed 15th, so I'm driving the wheels off this, and we just have an absolutely terrible turn 1. We're a whole 3/10 down at this point now. Piling into Whiteford, we're still down on this time, but we gain a lot of it back here, coming through turn 4. We're now running 10th back. Turn 5, not a great turn for us here, but we're still kind of in range, picking up some tenths here or there, especially after that turn 6. Again, I thought we had to take on top 15. Turns out we just have to get Gasly at this point. But with this lap so far, we're just fighting in the we're 2 tenths off. I mean, these are fresh tires and we're still struggling. Turns out at the end of the lap, we managed to bring it together. We come home, bring it 2 tenths underneath. Doesn't look like it's going to be enough though. We'll be 18th, which is a decent start for our first GP, but it's not going to be enough to put us through to Q2, which would have been the ultimate dream. Then again, this isn't my greatest track, so I'm happy with it. Lord Mahaveer, 22nd. Not too happy with that performance, but it's about growth. We're going to grow together as a team.
It's finally time once again to begin what promises to be another thrilling season of Formula One action. Pre-season times, subject of so much discussion in recent weeks, mean nothing now, as the cars line up to battle it out for points once again. So let's get this season underway. Welcome to the Australian Grand Prix, just south of Melbourne's downtown.
One thing I learned here is that there's a lot of corners have names. Turn 1 is Jones, turn 2 Brabham, turn 3 Whiteford, 8 is Lauda, 9 Clark. There's the hill straight on the back. Ascari is turn 13, the right-hander after the DRS straight on the back straight. 14 Stewart, 15 Prost, and then troublesome turn 16 for me to take you back out into the front straight and across the line again.
And with 22 cars on the grid, how quickly can the new team find their footing?
Valtteri's lined up. He's ready to have his 3 strong performances at the start of the season, just to make everyone think, hey, maybe Hamilton isn't the leader over at Mercedes. And then Hamilton's going to come back after the 3rd race and just demolish the World Championship.
Keep on top of their issues will have the advantage today.
As I mentioned earlier, we're up to 11 teams this season, with a new entry run by, well, of all things, an owner-driver.
This is media bias, only showing the guy that's in 22nd, not showing the guy that's in 18th, who's actually the owner of the team.
Ever since their participation was announced, there were questions being asked about whether an outfit like this could survive.
Could it survive? Is it The Drive to Survive? Season 2 out now on Netflix.
Find a little more pace as well.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday.
Look at these guys, okay? There's something just wrong. Look at like Lewis Hamilton's tricep. These guys just, they look malnourished. Just something looks off about them.
And Antonio Giovinazzi, Ocon, Ricciardo, Lance Stroll, and Perez. Magnussen,
Gasly. Even in video games, they can't make that beard look good.
Russell, Latifi, and
Mahaveer.
Raghunathan. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
So here we go to the race start. Strategy is we're actually going to hop on hards halfway through. Manual starts. I'm not still getting used to them in this game. As we take a look around Kvyat, we're actually going to go outside of Kvyat, follow up Perez. We're not going to make too much of a dive bomb down the inside, but Kvyat does. It was flying into Giovinazzi, knocks off part of his front wing. Wow, that was a dive bomb. We get shoved out by Ricciardo. He's getting really defensive in his home GP, but what a start. And then we go diving up again. We hit Giovinazzi must be getting tired of getting run into because we went piling into him there. Kvyat off the start. Let's have another look at that. 5 red lights. Away we go. Clouds of smoke from the tires. Everyone's, trying to find the line here or there. Except if you're Kvyat. Just watch him on the inside here. Watch the AlphaTauri on the inside. Boom. Carbon goes flying as he just piles it into Giovinazzi. We're on reduced damage and that happened. We get a great run on Giovinazzi here heading out of turn 4 and into turn 5. Makes a good look for us into turn 6. Where we will shoot up the inside. We're getting a terrible line though, trying to make sure we don't make contact. Don't want to be boxing for front wing on the first lap of Philmc GP. So we actually have to let Giovinazzi kind of go ahead of us as we head down towards Clark turn 9. We get the move done through turn 9, and we actually get a great exit out of turn 10. Especially we get the run on Ocon, and we give him a little bit too much room, and we put ourselves in the grass, lose our footing, we lose our chance at making the pass into 11, and then once we hit 11. The left-right chicane there, left-right S-bend just kills our momentum, kills our vibe. Ocon goes racing off into the distance. Now we're in a Renault sandwich here. So we have a terrible line through turn 11. Turn 12, we cut, and we actually get an illegal overtake warning from Ricciardo. Ricciardo comes and hits us. What was that? We're trying to slow down to give him the line, give him the place back, and he just comes crashing straight into us. Now look at this. Could I actually have stayed on the track here? Ricciardo kind of just gave me no room. And then he comes and he hits me for good measure. I'm glad he lost some of his wing because that was just aggressive, reckless driving. I was there. I was slowing up to let him go. And he made just a wrong move straight into my car. Not too happy about that. We get a little sideways on turn 8 here. Heading out of 15. So as we head down the front straight, again, turn 16. Can't get that corner right. We now have Gasly going up our... Gasly's not going up. Sorry, Gasly's behind us. Giovinazzi going up our inside. We dive too deep into turn 1. Turn 2, we're going to have to compromise that exit. We kind of give Gasly a little push here. I don't know if we were in the wrong or if that's just fair play. But we kind of squeezed out Gasly here. Just a little bit. Anyway, we have a look inside Giovinazzi and we say no, but we get bumped. We get pushed into Giovinazzi. We send him into a spin. That wasn't me. That wasn't me, folks. Look at that. What is Gasly doing there? Gasly just said, I'm coming through. Now let's go from the onboard. I mean, look at him. I'm clearly in front of him. And then he just accelerates. Or at least he lets off the brake. Just straight chain reaction in.
6.1 seconds.
I'm not taking fault for that. That was purely on Gasly. I'm sorry to Giovinazzi. I'm glad Gasly got the worst of the situation. Now the running order goes us, Stroll, Giovinazzi, Gasly. Behind, we got 71% up front left, so we're going to come in this lap, get onto the hards, and, our first retirement of the season. Alex Albon's Red Bull pulls off to the side at the end of the hill straight. That's in a pretty dangerous position. I'm glad those guys managed to see, Ocon there, managed to see, get out the way, so we don't have a collision there. But that's bad news. First race of the season, and Red Bull's already encountering engine problems. We're going to head down to the pits here, get some new boots, some new rubber on this car. See how our pit crew does in their first real test. 2.5. That's not great. Really isn't great. But for a new team, take it. I make a mistake coming out of the pits there. I forget the pit limiter. It's actually first career I'm ever doing with the pit limiter on. So expect to see some more of those mistakes as we get a little oversteery into turn 1. Just, you know, new rubber, fresh rubber, cold tires. As Leclerc, something's up with Leclerc. Vettel goes around him. Turn 14 and Leclerc is off. He's parked it at Stewart. And problems for the Ferrari. He was actually the fastest lap of the race at this point as we take out the Bullard. And in turn 11, heading out turn 12, Grosjean's got the run. He actually makes a little bit of contact with us. We go dive into the grass just to give ourselves a little bit of space. But yeah, absolute terrible entry into turn 11. Not a strong corner for me. It's just the bane of my existence, this one. But what is with these drivers? They just want to hit you there. They want to act like you're not there. So at this point, I'm like, okay, why is there a caution out? I get distracted by Leclerc. I completely screw up my entry into that corner. So Magnussen's going to probably get away from us here. Looking back, Ricciardo's still in DRS range. But he's on hards now. What I'm also worried about, though, is Perez. Behind Ricciardo, we're all kind of stacked up here. I'm almost pushing Ricciardo back into Perez. So Perez on those fresher tires, he's looking to make a move. We go defensive into turn 3 here. Excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. Go defensive into turn 3. Ricciardo has a little bit of a look, just a little bit. But, I mean, Ricciardo's driving insane. Here, look at that. I didn't think there was a gap there. I think he forced his way in, and I think he's a little apprehensive. It's his home Grand Prix. He's already done a year at Renault that hasn't gone well, and now again he shoots it up the inside. I didn't think there was a gap there. He's getting reckless. He's annoyed. He's given Renault a year to improve, and they haven't. Now he's running 11th at his home Grand Prix. He wants some points. You know, he didn't leave Red Bull for this. We managed to hold on to the position though. And running order stays the same. We're still holding on to 1 championship point right now. It's really good for an outfit in its first outing. Really happy with that. But we hit a turn 11-12. We have a decent turn 11, but a terrible turn 12. And we're bleeding our ERS right now in overtake mode. Just trying to hold on. Don't have much fuel to spare. Perez takes a look at the outside. We take a kind of aggressive line to cover him off, I'll be honest. No. I don't think you would have gotten a penalty for that, but I do think that you would have gotten a couple side eyes in the garage from that. Perez has a look up the outside. We're not going to play too dirty with him. We're going to take the outside. We're going to get past here on 16, except for the fact we get a run. We get an absolute run, despite being on the high line and on worse tires. We managed to go shooting up the outside. Perez takes to the end of the straight to catch us. We tried to see if we could peek around the outside. Couldn't happen. Perez takes the last championship points. Now we got to look at defending against Ricciardo for the moment. We know that he's going to do whatever he wants. He's going to take some risky dives. And we're just going to have to deal with that. Try and defend as best as we can. Not even give his AI the chance to think maybe there's a slot for me to go. So as we go riding across turn 5 and heading into turn 6 now. Shut up, Jeff. They got rid of that option in this game. That's like the one downside. You can't tell Jeff to shut up anymore. It was a beautiful thing. I always used it in qualifying because he would tell me the session's almost over, and I'm like, I know, I'm on a hot lap. This is how this works, Jeff. Anyways, we come down the back straight here as we head again to the turn 11-12. Every time I take this turn, it's a different story. Every time. This time we got a little bit too much grass. Now we got Grosjean right behind us as we head into turn 6. Grosjean gets a better turn 6 than us, so he's going to have a look up our inside. Head towards that corner. We're going to actually cut back on him. A little bit of a dive up the inside. We make it work. It's fine. We give him space as well. Plenty of space. He backs off. He's going to set himself up for a turn 11-12 move. He knows our weakness. He's been watching the tape. His engineers, Gunter Steiner's giving him a quick ring. Told him in his ear. We have a terrible line at turn 11. We kind of cut it. Turn 12, same thing. And then as we exit turn 12, we get on the grass. And, ooh, not great. Get nice and sideways. Gives the window up for Grosjean. But the AI, they're just insistent on being onto the right side of the track at that exact moment. So we get a block in, but Grosjean will go around instead of Scari. We're going to get onto the grass. I thought I was perfectly clean. Looking back at this replay, though, I mean, I could see Ricciardo having a little complaint there. He's ticked, but I'm ticked at him. Let's not get any further. I'm ticked at him. He's been racing reckless this entire race. We did a little bit of a move, but we moved out of his way. We didn't get too crazy. Let him go ahead. We had to look back. We're now diving into the turn. Ricciardo stopped pretty suddenly. We end up in the back of him. We send him spinning into the grass at his home Grand Prix, to the dismay of the hometown fans.
Someone hit me. Sore loser.
You may think I'm a sore loser, mate, but you're the one who kept ramming me every other corner. I finally have one go back. It's too bad you couldn't take corrective action, as Mahaveer takes a little dig at us at turn on lap 24. I'm not too happy about that. I don't think Mahaveer has the pace. I think he's just lucky right now. I've been fighting with Ricciardo. So I phone up the team, tell him, hey, remind him who's number 2 driver. We tried to pull over to let Vettel by. Vettel decided to sit behind us. That let Gasly ahead of us. We touched wheels with Gasly, actually. I'm worried that it might have even punctured it because we're at 80%. We're nursing this thing. This tire could blow at any time, any point. But I want that position back from Gasly. I felt it was kind of unfair on a blue flag pass. He makes a mistake at turn 3. We're going to use that to get some speed through turn 4. We actually give him a little bit of a shunt. And then we have a look at turn 5, and we go up the inside turn 5. Possibly an illegal overtake? Yeah. But did we make it happen? You bet. We got 80% front left. We're sitting ahead of Gasly. Managed to keep it all together. It was nervous. 82% in front left as we cross the line. We'll hold off Giovinazzi, and we will come across the line. First Grand Prix. 12th place for Philmc GP. 14th place for Mahaveer. Love to see that. Drive of the day goes to us. I think we got thrown a freebie because it was our first race. You know, they always want to encourage new people to join F1. I put up the money, so they're happy with me. Mattia Binotto's happy. Glad to see he can be happy in a video game, even though he's not going to be happy in real life anytime soon. Vettel winning a race with Ferrari. You just love to see it, man. Been so turbulent for him recently. But high fives all around in the Ferrari garage. High fives all around in the Philmc garage as well. Lewis Hamilton finishes 4th. It's not going to be a great start for his World Championship repeat campaign. Anyway, let's pan to the podium. You want to see the next episode of the series when it comes out? Go ahead and hit subscribe. Let me know in the comments how you think I did with this. It's my first video, so I'd appreciate the feedback. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. See you next time at Bahrain.